Welcome to Motorsport Coaching, the podcast for racers with racers. Miss Motivate can help get you to the next level. Every episode, she talks to the best racers of today and those that can get you there. She'll help you get better
Racing news
at fitness, nutrition, sports psychology, sponsorship, social media, public relations, and media training. Connect with Miss Motivate at motivatetraining.com.au. That's MOTIV8 training.com.au. And now, to help get you to the next level, Miss Motivate herself, Belinda Risley.
Hi guys, and welcome to episode 16 of the Motorsport Coaching Podcast. I am your host, Belinda Risley. Today I'm joined by one of my good friends, Eugene Downey. Eugene Downey is one of the co-founders of Jim Click Media that specialises in videos. I've personally worked with Eugene before and found his services to be fantastic. And today he's going to provide us some tools and tips on taking the best videos with lighting in rooms and where to post on social media and how to post. So please stay tuned, and I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I do. Welcome to the show, Eugene.
Yeah, no dramas at all. First of all, Belinda, I just wanted to say a massive big thank you for having me on and having me here to come and speak to your audience. I do appreciate it. I'm really thankful for it. So just a little bit more about Jim Click Media. We're a digital media agency for specifically catering for the fitness industry. However, it doesn't stop us from venturing outside of the fitness industry. We've been around for the last 3 years. My co-director T&J and I have really seen the fitness industry as an area that can really do with our expertise. So things have been really busy, but it's exciting at the same time.
Fantastic. And what kind of services do Jim Click Media offer?
Well, Jim Click Media predominantly bread and butter or service offering of the industry, our business for the industry is mainly around video production. So if you're thinking about any type of content that needs to be created through a media or a medium of video, then that's where we will come into play. We also provide for video and audio editing services, which allows our partners to do podcasts similar to this. We also do digital design for digital assets. So if somebody wants to do a Facebook post but don't know how to put together the creative of it, that's what we do as well. And more excitingly, finally, we're in the development stages of providing an AR and a virtual reality environment for the fitness industry as well through some new, exciting and innovative platforms coming out. So we're super excited to be releasing that in November.
Sounds very interesting, and can't wait to see what you're going to do there in that space with the VR. So early on, obviously 3 years ago, you identified there would be a big need for video production going forward in social media world. What was your background before that, and then how did you come into your role?
Okay, so rewinding the clock back now to many moons ago, but I have been servicing the fitness industry for the last 14 years. So my journey started back in 2004 when I migrated to the UK from South Africa. So that's where I was originally born. And I've been working in the fitness industry where digital and print was very much, that was the new norm. Like digital would be the new print, whereas social media is now the new, goes hand in hand with digital and far outweighs print at the moment. So our journey started, a long time ago. However, I had a look about 5 years ago. I had a look and seeing some of these print trends drop down, and then obviously with the rise of social media and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, etc., there's been a lot of activity. I was having a look at my business partner, and I said, look, there's going to be something that's going to be happening in the fitness industry. There's a lot of people that want to use it. The demand is high, but there's very actual practitioners that specialize within the fitness industry and also have the execution capabilities at the same time. So that's where 3 years ago we came together and go, you know what, this is our niche. This is what we're going to be doing, and that's where we're going to be helping people. And from there, we haven't looked back. We've helped an enormous amount of people over time. A lot of learning curves at the same time, and but we're in a good place at the moment. So I'm super excited about what's coming up.
Fantastic. And so through your experience over the last 3 years, why have you identified videos to be so important?
Okay, so that's a loaded question. Look, the reason, if I
Well, what's the benefit of utilizing video, I guess, now over normal print? And I guess for my market being athletes as well. So what are like some of the benefits of utilizing video?
Yeah. So in terms of video, you can say so much more in such a short period of time. Whereas a photo may say, evoke emotion. It may kind of take you to a different place. If you look at a photo or a really well lit, well shot photo of something, it can send the user that's looking at it, or the person that's appreciating the artistry or the messaging, or just the rawness of an image. It will take them places on their own without, and it leaves a lot up to imagination. Whereby I feel for businesses where video is so impactful that in a 30-second or 1 minute video, or even in a long form video, you can take the user or the person consuming the content on a journey through explaining via, we're human, we love to see moving parts, we love to listen to something, we love to see image changes and scenery changes, etc., because that's what captivates your attention. You want to look for the next big thing that's coming up or the next twist in a little video. And I think with using video as a medium for us in the fitness industry, or for athletes in general, they can do their storytelling so much more and with so much more conviction if the video form is used in comparison to using photography. And I think that's the reason why people have jumped on the bandwagon with live video streams, and just it tells so much more in such a shorter period of time. And I think a well thought out piece of creative where you know what the starting point is, you know what journey you want to take somebody on, and you know what key points you want to communicate, I think is so much more effective because it plays to our order, it plays to our emotions. We should be able to find out a little bit more about the consumer by putting messaging into their video timeline and allow them to comment and engage. And I think that's really important.
Now, Eugene, you keep mentioning the word storytelling. So for those that don't know exactly, can you explain a little bit more what exactly is storytelling, and again, the benefits around storytelling?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess storytelling is a phrase that a person would use by documenting certain areas of their life. Now, if your audience are athletes, elite athletes, and they've got a story to tell when it comes to, well, let's break it down. So you've got your athletes that's really good at their craft. Okay. Now you have, just underneath that or to the side of it, you'll have a lot of followers that look to the athlete for inspiration, for guidance, just to quickly follow their performance as such and see how the individual's coming along. But also there'll be a certain sense of admirers sitting on the sideline looking to this person for guidance, looking to them for leadership, looking to them for a sense of, or with a sense of admiration, saying, you're doing this really, big and bold thing like racing or running a marathon, or driving a lap, or like a 200 lap race, etc. How do you do that? So when your consumers or viewers are looking at you and they ask them the question, how do you do that? That is an opportunity for your athlete to jump in the driving seat, pardon the pun, and,
Very good
and actually tell those individuals, this is what I do on a day-to-day basis, doing what I love. This is my morning routine. This is the prep work that goes into my meal preparation. This is the way that I engage with brands or, sponsors of my craft. This is the way that I engage in social media. This is, there's so much different facets of the athlete's profile that if you break it down, so much stories to be told. And storytelling, in inverted commas, would purely be the athlete sharing life experiences with their audience. And I think if that's done really well, then the credibility of the athlete goes up, the likability goes up as well, but then the trust factor for that individual and how well they actually convey their storytelling, brands will then look to them as, you know what, you're really ticking the authority box in your, certain area of expertise. You're investable, so therefore we're going to unlock all these dollars to be able to help you amplify our brand as much as your own. And I think if an athlete does storytelling really well, it sets them apart from somebody that doesn't do it at all. So I think it's a really, really strong reason to be doing storytelling on social media well and often, and also to get guidance and coaching into it if you don't know how to do it.
Yeah, and that leads me on to the next one about, do you have any advice about overcoming fear about getting in front of the camera? Like, I know a lot of the athletes and the drivers that I work with, they're like, I like to drive a car and I don't like to be in front of the video. Neither do I. What are some ideas or some tips that you can give us for those that want to be able to tell the story, that really do want to do video, but just need to start somewhere? Is it okay to have picture images, or should we just do voice behind in front of the videos? Or what ideas have we got that we can do?
I've got, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, if your athlete class is drivers that do rally car driving or supercar driving or any type of driving as such, I've immediately, as an interested viewer, I want to know what it feels like to sit on a bike or to sit in the car going around those corners, whether it be on tarmac or whether it be on a dirt track. I want to see what that on-board real-life experience looks like. So what I would suggest, grab out a phone before you jump in the car, before you jump on a bike, etc. Film 30, 45 seconds of saying, hi, I'm Eugene. I'm going to be doing, this track. I haven't done the track before, so this is going to be a practice run. I'm expecting to do it in X amount of time. There's a couple of tricky corners here, but I need to navigate it in a way that they will get me through it. But more so, I want you guys to jump on board and see what I'm experiencing. So that's a 30, 45 second clip that you can literally film on your iPhone. Then what I would suggest you do then is get a couple of GoPros mounted to your car, mounted to...
Most have them, yeah.
Yeah. A couple of mounted to the driver's seat or the passenger seat if you've got a passenger seat, or similar to a dash cam setup, whereby the viewer now can actually firsthand see what it looks like to actually sit in a race car, etc. And then at the end of that, once you've captured that footage, then come back with a 30 or 45 second close to say, wow, guys, did you see what I saw? Felt when I gone through turn 2, I saw, I felt this, that, and the other, but I lost it on this turn. This is what I should have done, what I could have done this, or where I did do this. It's a real easy way to kind of engage the attention of your viewers. What I would suggest then, once you've got that content, download it onto a disk or like a memory card and upload it to a company, or like companies like Upwork or Fiverr or any of those companies that has got editors, like video editors or audio editors, that can actually cut it up for you, put a little bit of branding graphics behind it, put your own logo on it if you're really well established and you've got your own personal branding, with the exit slide saying, follow me here, this is my social media channels, and away you go. Generally, what I'm saying, the cost to get editing done now or nowadays, compared to what it was 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, it's so competitive. And there's technology nowadays that people can do it themselves. If they're not scared of technology, or if they have got limited resources, then don't go to a full-scale production house in order to get the videos edited. However, if you want quality and if you want to make it really stand out, you can really do it on a shoestring budget right now. So if you're catering with or for athletes that start off just started off on the game and, don't want to spend all of his dollars if they don't know what their messaging is going to be, practice, role play before you jump on a live stream video and record that session, see what works, see how you actually look on camera. And I know, like, from this one, I've got a cold sore over here, so I didn't want to come and do this video. However, it's normal,
Yeah, that's right.
So it's just going to be a case of practice, and then just have a think about what it could possibly look like in 3 or 4 or 5 weeks' time once you've got all that practicing underneath your belt. And that's what we're aiming for, continuous improvement.
Mm-hmm. And we talk about being authentic in order to build our brand. Do you think it's important to script or just to wing it?
Look, I think there's two things. When you send through a question here, I mean, I've got 2 theses. Like, with the rise of social media and the storyline function, raw, unedited videos is the norm. Okay, people documenting their journey. So for that, I would dare say, if you've got a script for that, then you really want to get a message out. But if you're that keen to get a message out and you're that well prepared and that well versed, I would suggest that you go down the production line or the premium side of things. Because if you're trying to sell something, I would say scripted. If you're trying to be social, people are going to see through your scripting. So I think a well thought out plan, a rule of thumb for you is, if you're trying to sell something, be scripted, be prepared for what you're trying to convey, so that there's no blurred lines. Whereby if it's social interaction, I would suggest be authentic, be yourself, be real, and don't put on whatever you do. Don't try and be somebody that you're not, because once the initial enthusiasm of doing a live video, etc., if you from the get-go started out being somebody else, and now you're trying to revert back to the normal, natural you, I think people would get caught out pretty quickly, and your followers and viewers will sense that step change in your delivery. And I think that's a really important thing. Be authentic, stick to it. Have a think about what you want to say, have a think of the structure, but also then stay true to who you are. And I think that will get you off to a good start.
Mm-hmm. So we've covered off on what content we should produce, but what's the best way about producing it? Should it just be simply from our iPhones or Samsung, or do we need any special equipment?
Yeah, Belinda, great question. I think there's, again, two parts to this. If you're preparing to shoot for a full-scale production, you're going to require bigger cameras, bigger memory for the length of the shoot. Some professional equipment, which you can pick up at your local camera stores, etc. However, if you're going down the self-shot route, I think a camera phone, the latest, or from iPhone 8 upwards and Samsung 8 upwards, that the quality of the videos are amazing. You can film up to 4K resolution on a normal iPhone or a Samsung phone. So I guess you can still get really high quality depending on whichever way you decide to go. If you decide to go down the social route, you only need really an iPhone, a little tripod like this, where you can literally just do your own self-shot videos. If you can see the video at the moment, there'll be some examples for you. However, if you're going down the route of professional production, I would suggest something like a really good lens, which is generally where most of your image quality is being captured. A wide lens, a decent camera body, holding up here a Canon camera body at the moment. Something with autofocus. If it's the very first time that you're filming or shooting, I would suggest and recommend something with the autofocus function if you're going down the professional route. However, if you're going on the self-shot iPhone route, there's digital or image stabilizers and autofocus functions on your iPhone anyway, which make it really simple and really easy for anybody to create content. In terms of audio, I would suggest that it does not matter if you do professional video production with high quality cameras, etc., or if you do self-shot cameras, but I would strongly recommend that your audio file is the best that you can potentially have. So I don't know if for the viewers watching on video at the moment, I don't know if you can actually see, but I've actually taken down a clock in the room because the battery at the back, I've taken the clock out. The reason for that is hearing a niggly sound in the background in audio can distract your viewers. Your audio has to be 110%. And I think investing some money into a really good audio engineer where they can literally take out the clicks in your video, or the humming sound of the air conditioning unit, or the clicking sound of the clock on the wall. I think all of that plays a really big part in preparing yourself for the production.
Mm-hmm. Some great tips there. Thanks for that. Now, Eugene, is there any, I guess, formats for the videos that we should abide by? Like, does Facebook say they need to be 15 seconds? Is Instagram 30? How do we know how long we should develop the content for?
Yeah, that's a pretty loaded question, but great question at the same time. It was actually recently, we've had a look at global video statistics, and the most created videos on the planet at the moment is actually sub 30 seconds. And I think the storytelling on Facebook and Facebook and Instagram, etc., and Snapchat, that short form video is skewing the numbers completely. However, the demand for it has gone through the roof. It's interesting to note, though, in a 90-second video clip, and I'm talking about professionally shot, at the 27-second mark, there is a 30% drop in people actually, still viewing your video. So I would strongly recommend that if you're doing a short form video, you can portray so much information in a space of a minute. And if your audience has not either dropped off or clicked on, your content is really good. However, strategically make sure that in the beginning of the video, you ask them to think of something or evoke emotion. If you've got within the first 10 seconds of your video an emotional hook, the likelihood of that viewer staying on to the 45-second mark of your video is so much higher, it increases it exponentially. But if you do not have a well thought out plan in the creation of your little video, at the 27-second mark, you will see a 30% drop in your video. So short form videos would be perfect, unless you're trying to explain some how-to videos or trying to coach people into understanding a little bit more about a certain topic. So if you're a race car athlete, etc., and if you want to talk about your race day preparation, 1 minute is simply not going to cut it in order to get all of your content out there. So I would suggest that maybe either a series of 1 minute videos or one video spaced out 3 minutes, but also prep the audience prior to actually viewing the content. Prep them into, number one, that there is a 3 minutes video up and coming. So if they read your post on social media that says the video length is 3 minutes long, so they can either then choose to save the video or view it immediately. Mm-hmm. If they choose to save it, they can scroll through their newsfeed and come back to it at a later stage when they're not as busy scrolling or busy with other things, and they can save it and archive it and come back to it. However, make sure that you raise that expectation with somebody, because that's also one of the key elements that actually increases viewership, is if you raise that expectation with an individual that the video is going to be 1 minute 20 seconds or it's going to be 3 minutes 49, etc.
Great tips there. Thanks again. So we're seeing more and more video now with captions on the bottom. What's the benefits of having those captions for those that are new to video?
Yeah, look, I think immediately I can think of about 3 or 4 usage for it. But the main reason is if people are sitting commuting, or if they're sitting at work, or if they're sitting in an environment where they have to wait but they can't have their audio on, I think it's really good to have those subtitles there. because if you don't have the capacity to be switching on your audio and listening, through audio, then the captions is certainly good. What people also do tend to find is in videos they will follow the viewer with their eyes, but then also sometimes check out, looking for something else to focus on. What that subtitles or caption does is it allows the viewer to still be engaged into the content that you're trying to create, and also just packs a punch and backs up what the individual is saying. So if you did put some captions underneath here, I would recommend to have it in big, bold. It should literally cover not the face, but also just down here. There should be slowly, but keeping up with the cadence of the conversation, so that it's not lagging, but it's also not too fast. So it needs to be strategically placed. Bottom third, not at the top, not to the sides. It needs to be bottom third, and it needs to be keeping up with the cadence of the conversation.
And is that a task that you would outsource again to Fiverr or Upwork?
Yeah, you can do it with Fiverr and Upwork, but...
Or is there a site or an app that you can download and do it yourself? Yeah.
Yeah, so my favourite one is a company called Rev, rev.com. Mm-hmm. So you can upload your raw video file to this particular site. I believe you're paying, or we've always paid in US dollars, but it's dirt cheap, and also they send you a SRT file, which you can then upload with your videos onto your website or your landing page, etc. And that allows, that SRT file allows the videos to have subtitles when posted online.
I think it's $1 a minute, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's right. It's $1 a minute, but it's US, so you've got to make sure you do your research on that. And but so easy. Imagine if you're doing 3 or 4 or 5 little videos in a day. Flick it off to a company called Rev. They do the transcription services for you, either in a blog form or you can have the subtitles. So what we generally tend to do with our clients is we submit the video file, ask them to do the subtitles underneath, but then also have alongside that running a transcription service. So everything that's been spoken to during the video then also gets put into a blog form, so that we can back it up by putting out some social media content with a video. We've got the audio file there, should they decide then to release a podcast version or an audio version of it. And then thirdly is the transcription service, if they decide to put out a blog in an email newsletter just by copying a link, etc. So the versatility of video is so impressive. And that's just one more reason why people use video nowadays, because you can get a lot more done.
Mm-hmm. And the last thing that we haven't spoken about is lighting. How important is lighting?
Right. So
I know there's a whole can of terms there, but looking at your beautiful lighting behind you, I was just thinking.
That is absolutely correct. Look, as you can see, I have got lighting on my face at the moment. So if you're looking at the video, you can see this. So there's two, and I specifically came to sit down here so you can see there's a light part of my face on the side, and there's a darker shade of my face on the side, okay? So if you look at me on the video now, my left-hand side of my face is lit up, a little bit harder than, or what we would call harder than the right side of the face. And if you have a look at yourself, Linda, as well, your left-hand side of your face is lit up now. The right-hand side is a little bit darker as well. So I think lighting plays absolutely a key part into any form of production. I would suggest that if you're doing self-shot, have the sun face you. So don't stand with your back to the sun, because what that is going to do, the sun's going to cast a shadow over your self-shot photography. If you want to accentuate one side of the face or both sides, if you do it both sides at the same time, what's going to happen is you're going to flush the individual out, especially if you're filming on a backdrop that is white. You are literally going to wash the face out of the individual, which makes the individual look flat on video. So it's really important to, first of all, the way that I do it, if this was a professional setting, I would have a backlight or a hairline, light coming in. I would have the one side of the face a little bit more predominantly lit up, similar to the way that ours are at this given point in time, and then one side a little bit darker for just an abstract feeling. So but it always has to accentuate the eyes and the mouth, especially if you're doing video form, because what that will do is it will keep the viewer engaged, plus also it shows openness, it shows that you know what you're doing, plus also if a video production company is coming in, they would pay special attention to lighting. And I think that's one of the things that sometimes clients don't get it, how important that is, but then you'll soon, if special attention wasn't paid at the point of filming, the client would notice that immediately, which basically means that if it hasn't done it in the very beginning, it needs to be reshot, which is more time, more cost, etc. So if ever you're out there engaging a digital production company or video production company, and they pay special attention to the lighting of the set or the environment, this is the reason why, because they don't want to come and do it all over again, costing the client or the production company more hours and more time.
Oh, fully understand that. I had a few reshoots myself while late. Eugene, thank you very much for joining us today and for all your recommendations and tips. I really appreciate your time. Where can people learn more about you and Jim Click Media?
First of all, thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity. It's been wonderful spending the time with you, Linda. I really appreciate it. For your viewers, if or people listening to the podcast, if there's anything that I can do to help or anything like that, please feel free to visit our website, which is www.jimclickmedia.com.au. There's some sections on there which we've helped clients. They've put some testimonials up on there, so you can literally hear it from our clients what they say about us. But there's also, we spoke beforehand about the structure of videos and how to film them, how to shoot them, etc. There's actually, on our website, there's a link to, or a contact us form, which is actually got a PDF file, what we call the SEPA framework. Is something that I've personally developed, but I've structured the content into such a way where it's broken down into 4 key stages. SEPA is the acronym for content creation. So you literally start with the concept or conceptualization stage of the project. Exploration, where you're actually going to have a look at and what's actually out in the market. The preparation stage where you talk cameras, when you talk audio function, when you talk lighting, when you talk environment. And then the final one is the action stage, and this is where the whole project comes together. And that's a free resource for your viewers, available on the website, or they can contact me via you. I'd really help to add, or really like to add some value to your audience.
Oh, thank you so much, Eugene. Well, all those links will be in the show notes anyway, and we'll put the link through maybe for your LinkedIn account. So if people want to connect you directly, they can see through LinkedIn. Thank you again, and we'll get you on, I reckon, in a couple more months to see what's happening in that VR world.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Eugene. Well, thanks everyone for listening to this week's show. I really hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did. Now, remember, all the show notes with the links and the specials mentioned in today's show are available over at motivatetraining.com.au. If you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you could head to iTunes or Stitcher, type in Motorsport Coaching, subscribe, and leave us a review. Each week, I'll read them out, and you'll go into a monthly draw to win a fantastic prize. If you have any questions or comments, please email us at motivatetraining.com.au or head over to our Facebook page at motivatetT. Until next time, take care.
Get ready for the race.
Do you feel one step closer to being the next superstar behind the wheel? Motivatetraining.com.au for more. MOTIV8 training.com.au.
The green flag.
Every episode gets you one step closer to the checkered flag. The Motorsport Coaching Podcast, getting you to the checkered flag faster.